If you will detach yourself from an expectation of an outcome and just stay busy around the activity, let cause and effect work its magic, I'm convinced that you'll see the conversion and those introductions increase very, very quickly. Hey, this is Duncan MacPherson with Pareto Systems. I hope all is well. Things continue on. I'm looking forward to things normalizing, of course, but in the meantime, lots of calls and webinars and Zooms and things like that, and noticing some definite patterns emerging. And as usual, I like to frame things, so I'm just going to give you 3 words as it relates to your clients: support, sift, and strengthen. Okay, so support, sift, and strengthen. Now, clearly, as a fee-for-service professional, you want to support your clients with your technical ability. But sometimes you have to expand some of the messengers in your stable just to sort of validate some of your messaging. Okay, so be very deliberate about who you follow and who you are introducing your clients to. And you know by now, I'm big fans of the team at First Trust, Brian Westbury, and the incredibly unrivaled bench of economists and managers there. You know, their factoids and their data and their outlook, it's not just bullish and positive or optimistic for the sake of being positive. It's rooted in research. And this can really help galvanize what you're saying because of the social proof and the other authorities that are like-minded. Okay, so be very, very meaningful about what you're submitting to balance out that signal to noise ratio as it relates to your core competency. But then again, balance it out. And again, rely on form. Think of your clients' families. Okay, so life continues. Right? There are still birthdays and anniversaries and milestones occurring. So I really encourage you to adopt the habit of sending out 5 handwritten cards a day. That exercise will compound, especially now. Okay, think about your clients' kids. I mean, some of them might not have a formal graduation. Some of them are in final exams right now. And there's some pressure because, again, they're not in the normal environment. Just pay tribute to what they're going to in a tangible, meaningful manner. Maybe send them out a copy of The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason, right? The guy who coined the phrase, pay yourself first, or The Wealthy Barber, okay? At a minimum, write a summary of those books and the thoughts and the ideas and the maxims that are fundamentally sound. You know how I feel about Tom Dean's work, right? His book, Every Family's Business and Willing Wisdom. I mean, send those to your favorite clients, just again, to support the messaging as it relates to their aspirations around their family. You can't count everything that counts. Okay, so just go deeper into those relationships. Think about occupation. I mean, partner and do a podcast or a webinar with a CPA or an attorney. I mean, there's all kinds of themes right now. Tax loss harvesting, opportunistic buying, whatever the case may be. There's assistance programs to small business owners that they might not be able to figure out for themselves. Put yourself in front of people, even digitally, and just keep stirring the pot with value added that they actually value. Okay. Again, you're not trying to impress someone. You're trying to impress upon them that you have achieved professional contrast. You are superior. It'll galvanize and validate those relationships and make you more referable. Okay. Think about recreation. I mean, you might have a client who's an avid gardener. I mean, partner with them and do a webinar on gardening hacks or whatever. You might have somebody who's really strong at yoga and top 10 poses and stretches to get ready for the golf season. You might have a client who's a sommelier. Talk about the top wines you've never heard of from Portugal and South Africa and Sicily or whatever the case may be. I mean, just Be targeted based on commonalities of your client's interests beyond just money and the technical. Okay, so support them. Now let's talk about sift. Okay, so this period of time can be very revealing. You know how I feel about the law of environment? We're products of our environment, even digitally, virtually. Someone wise once said, never wrestle with a pig, right? You both get dirty, but the pig likes it, okay? So if there's a client or someone who's, using you as a lightning rod, hammering you on fees or things that are out of your control, whatever the case may be, perhaps it's time to say it's just not a good fit, okay? Oscar Wilde said that a cynic is someone who knows the cost of everything and the value of nothing. I mean, your value is sky high. You might, in your own way, be saying to yourself, right, when things are going really well and smooth, you're overpaid. And when things are rough, you're underpaid. Whatever your philosophy on compensation is, that's fine. But think of yourself as the captain of a ship. I mean, when you're at port or when the seas are calm, that's where you really focus on your process to get in front of things, and you really get into your planning and your navigation. Okay, but of course, when seas are rough, that's where your judgment and your decision making and your reason really emerge. So just be mindful of that and just be unreasonable about only surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded and philosophically aligned. And don't be afraid to tell people that you're using this opportunity to actually grow down and get into that sweet spot where you're still growing your business, but maintaining scarcity. Because again, belonging is so key. So again, support, sift, and then strengthen relationships. And here's what's interesting. You are at your highest level of referability right now, but sometimes you get lost in that no man's land between intent and consent. Okay, there's a gap in between. It's like an interlude space. And you've got all these clients that have the intent to be advocates, but it just hasn't tipped over. And you're probably talking about the fact that you'll be a sounding board for friends and family members. And you're not pitching the idea of a referral as a favor you're asking of them. You're positioning the concept of an introduction as a service you're providing for them. But here's the thing. You might be talking about it. I would encourage you to maybe do a video about a story of when you were introduced to a friend or a family member of a client. You don't have to name names, of course, but just describe the episode. All right. I mean, you can say that, you were introduced to someone. So a client called you and said, look, my sister is really concerned right now. Would you speak to her? And of course you did, and you followed your normal process, but you did it virtually. So you had a Zoom or a Skype meeting. You sent out an agenda. There was no hidden agenda. They didn't need to become a client. And you just started talking about what matters and what they can control. And they came into the conversation with a lot of apprehension, and you just got them to focus on the things that mattered. And as the call ensued, you could see their apprehension melt away, and they felt more empowered and more intentional about the path they were going to go down. And just remind them that that is what is fulfilling to you. And that's what really drives your calling and your purpose as a fee-for-service professional. There might be in your own mind a lag between client to advocate. I mean, a lot of advisors have been telling me that they feel that there might be a 2-month sort of conversion period. That is self-fulfilling. If you will detach yourself from an expectation of an outcome and just stay busy around the activity, let cause and effect work its magic, I'm convinced that you'll see the conversion and those introductions increase very, very quickly. Okay. So anyway, this is Duncan MacPherson with Pareto Systems. Support your clients, sift good people out from the people who are not maybe a good fit. Take action there, and then strengthen relationships by going deeper into your messaging. Okay, hope that helps. Thanks for watching. Make it a great day.